Hello and welcome back to all of you in today's video from the Bitcoin Eyes channel. Today, we're going to talk about a project called Official Trump, the token of the US president. Recently, there's been a lot of hype among investors, and many questions have arisen about whether this token will continue to rise in the future after its release, or if it's just a pump and dump scheme. I'll provide my assessments, insights, and technical analysis so you can get a closer look at this token and use it as a reference for your future investments. Before we dive into the details of today's content, please don't forget to support me with a like and subscribe, along with the bell icon next to it, so you can receive more valuable information in the future for safer investing. Additionally, you can also trade and invest with Bitcoin Eyes on the Coins Exchange, a long-standing exchange with a wide variety of new coins and tokens on the market, allowing you to buy and invest early before they're listed on larger exchanges like Bybit, Binance, or OKX. The Coins Exchange is one of the best launching pads for new coins and tokens in the market. You can check it out and invest in the future. With the Official Trump project, you can see that it's one of the tokens running on the Solana ecosystem, listed on Solana and on DEX exchanges. In the early stages, you can see that its growth rate was one of the fastest. It rose from around a few cents to $3, then pumped to a maximum peak price of around $72–73. Very high, but at this point you can see that it's experiencing a very sharp price decline. Previously, after he launched his token, there was also his wife's token, Official Melania. When people were hyped up, they saw that in the early stages, he created many millionaires, even billionaires, in the early days when this token was launched. People even checked the genealogy of his wife, children, relatives, and so on to follow. But when his wife's coin came out, you could see that it was just a dump. It pumped for a very short time in the beginning. From the initial price recorded on CoinMarketCap here of around $7, it pumped to about $12 and then just crashed. When this situation occurred, it created a lot of people who bought at the peak. Where does the source of this peak buying come from? Many people were FOMOing because they saw others out there making money. They were holding other altcoins in the market. For example, they were holding and experiencing losses, and they saw others making money, so they cut their losses on altcoins. Many people cut their losses on other altcoins and then took the remaining money to push into his token. Even at very high prices, 50-something, 60-something, 70-something dollars, they were still pushing money in. And when his wife's token came out, his token collapsed. Currently, in my assessment, many people are experiencing a double peak, peaking from altcoins and then jumping to peaking on meme coins, and even peaking on his wife's coin, peaking on everything. What we learn here is that if there's something to gain, we should gain it in the early stages, and when it's delayed, we should let it go. For example, I bought from $3 up to 20-something, 30-something, and then our team exited his token. I didn't hold it for too long because I saw the risk when the crowd jumped in and FOMO'd too much. Then who are the beneficiaries? That is, those who bought at low prices, of course. When they see profit, they have to sell. Their greed will reach a point where they have to stop, and those are the ones who get out of this coin. There was also a very large amount of liquidity from those who were FOMOing, creating such a large selling pressure. When there was that selling pressure, the price fell to very low levels. From the high regions, for example, from the region of about $77, you can see that recently it has dropped 81% of its previous gain. Almost everyone who entered here to buy at those high peak regions was all FOMOing. So what are the chances for those who bought at the peak to recover? In my opinion, it's still possible, but it will be very difficult. It can still push back to the price regions of those who bought at the peak if they are still holding the coin. If they haven't exited, then there's still a chance for them to recover or get close to recovering. They can get out. But before we go deeper, more closely at how the price will move in the future, you must understand the issue is what. Now, this token was born with what purpose? With the purpose of only him launching this token to let people know that he is very fond of the crypto market and there will be favorable conditions for this crypto market, and especially for businesses organizations working in crypto, trading in crypto, doing crypto exchanges, investing in crypto. He will create conditions in his term of 4 years, from 2025 to 2028-2029. Then he will retire. At this point, you see that the purpose of this token's launch is in line with his series of events. In the period of about 3 to 4 years, his future, when he has said since he called for election until now that he will support crypto and so on, the high possibility is that if he just stirs, for example, if he implements a policy for crypto that is good, or if he does something that makes the crypto market green, then he, the official Trump token, will benefit, and it will still have growth potential. That means it will still have growth potential if he comes up with events, comes up with good policies. And that will be a FOMO condition. It will still be a token that will be FOMO'd in his term. That means this coin you can only play within the next 3 to 4 years, and when his term ends, he steps down. Then this coin will no longer have value. Because when he comes up, he issues laws like this. Then later successors, later presidents, they can still turn his steering wheel. They can ban crypto, we don't know. But when we see that his operating time is still long, and there will still be good news, then you can still consider playing this token according to the flow of his news and events. When you play according to the flow and events, you must note that it is completely FOMO, because this token has no value. It is just a token for him to show to everyone that he likes crypto. So what price range is reasonable for you to play when there is an event, there is news? You enter at the right price range, it will be safe. I will share with you so you can see the reasonable price ranges. With him launching this token, what do we need to pay attention to in terms of technical, on-chain, etc.? You have to pay attention. Now its market cap, although it has decreased 80-something% from the peak, but its market cap is still quite good, $3 billion. A large amount of money is still very abundant in this token. The market cap is quite good. FDV is 15 billion. If you don't understand what FDV is, then FDV is simply the total supply. You take the total supply of nearly 999, which is 1 billion Trump coins, and you multiply it by the price, which is the actual value of this token. When you calculate the total supply, it is 15 billion, which is a very large number. You see that few projects achieve such a large FDV. Previously, the FDV went up to 70-something billion. Then it came down and adjusted, you see. It came down to 30-something, 40-something billion, and now it's still 15 billion. So in general, I assess this project has very, very large liquidity. Very, very large in terms of liquidity. And the circulating supply is what we have to question. The circulating supply is what we have to question, which is now it's still very small. So in the future, its inflation rate will still affect the price, When you look at CryptoRank, you can see the investment rounds and distributions. There are a lot of creators and CIC digital and other stuff. Many rounds will be unlocked in the future. In the early stages, you can see that the public distribution is when they distributed in the beginning. For example, distributing to Mr. Trump's family or to the token creators, to the devs, is 100 million tokens. This is the amount of tokens that in the early stages can be dumped on the project. You can see that this is a fairly large inflation-causing pressure. The first pressure is the pressure that can be dumped on the token in the recent time. The second is what? The second is the pressure of those who have invested. They pushed it up, they FOMO'd it up, then they pushed it down, they dumped it down is normal. They take profit, they dump it down is normal. The fact that it goes down like that, we can also consider it a situation that almost every project, no matter what, it also happens like that. Because you can see that FOMO always ends with price drops. So when you invest in a new project, be careful with FOMO projects. Only eat in the early stages, and when it's too late, let it go. And with this project, it still has 3 years left. Here, the creator and CIC rounds, digital, etc., will be dumped until January 18th, 2028. That means the inflation rate will still last for 3 years from this year. And it also coincides with the condition that this project will end Mr. Trump's term, which will be the point where the level of attention will drop to the extreme. And in the next 3 years, when this token unlocks into the market, this project will definitely still be dumped. But if, in the next 3 years, we recall the issue, in the next 3 to 4 years, if this token runs, it can increase. It will all depend on the news. It will all depend on the news. And what price ranges when there is news. For example, Mr. Huff, Trump says that Bitcoin will be a currency that can be used for payments in the US and then used for borrowing or reserves or anything in the US, for example. He wants to create the US as a crypto hub. Then Bitcoin is something very worth paying attention to, right? When Mr. Trump releases news about such events about crypto, you can consider the price ranges, and even very deep, you see $7.5 in front of you. In the future, it will still be dumped down. It will still be dumped down. The selling pressure will still be there. So if you want to play according to the news and you really want to follow the flow of events to make money, then you pay attention to this 0.786 level. According to FIBO, this is the method that I often use with FIBO. If you already know, you have already seen, you will know about my method. In general, the $7.5 region is also quite good. $7.5 is equal to the price being displayed on CoinMarketCap. The bottom region in the region when CoinMarketCap updated it, they indexed this price level. You can see that it is also $7, $7.5, which will be the price region that I consider quite okay. If there is news, you can buy. That means you don't buy right now. You understand? Whenever there is news, for example, you receive the news, you hunt for news. For example, Mr. Trump releases some news. You can look at this region if it is from the $7.5 region. Or it can be a bit deeper. It can be a bit deeper, about $2, $3, which are very, very good regions. Because $3, is the region that the team gathered in the early time, which is a very good region. $7 to $3. Whenever there is news that you want to scalp to make money from the FOMO about the news, then you consider this region. And when it increases, what regions should you aim for? Aiming for the TP regions is also quite simple with this project. The first thing we have to ask is whether this project has futures or not. Are there exchanges that use futures for this coin? A lot. Almost every exchange has futures for the Trump coin. And when there are futures for the Trump coin, you have to understand that there are short-selling forces. When they saw that the Trump's wife coin came out, everyone FOMOed too much. Then they saw it decrease, and they started shorting it. And they short like this. Then the SL, the liquidation amount as I see it, is around the $30-something mark to the $20-something mark. That is the place. After the final rally, you see the last daily candle that has a green rally force, which is January 21st, you see. It has a rally force here, and then it only decreases, right? Then you see that the selling volume is accumulated here. It is accumulated in this area. And if even you turn on the volume here, you can see the selling force start to appear. It is very, very much and regular. Then, I think the liquidation amount, if considering liquidation, the exchange will definitely sweep it, which is around this area. This is the area, no matter how good, no matter how super the president, or even if there are alien forces, we don't need to know. But when it comes to FOMO, we must be careful. Be careful. Consider what price range people were able to buy at, and consider whether that stage has reached the right time for people to take profit. It's as simple as that to avoid unnecessary FOMO. There are a lot of people who cut their losses on altcoins. It's really a pity. Cutting losses on altcoins means you've already bought at the peak once, right? Even after that, they take the money from that peak and then go to buy at the peak of Mr. Trump's coin, buy at the peak of Mrs. Trump's coin, which is really unfortunate for those who have FOMO'd. But I still have a belief, a hope, that if you are holding the official Trump token, you can still recover, hopefully. As for Mrs. Trump's coin, I don't see it as feasible, not feasible. But for Mr. Trump's coin, it is feasible. If you play according to the news, it can still go up. Today's video is also a video sharing my feelings about the FOMO in the market recently. I have really reminded you quite a lot. Don't FOMO, don't FOMO. I mentioned it in the video when I updated Bitcoin. I also mentioned Trump, greed, market makers, liquidity, etc. I have said a lot. I really hope that in the future, new people joining this market can avoid the pitfalls. I am very happy that you have watched until the end of today's video. And then don't forget to support the team if you find any positive information in this video. You can give me a like, subscribe to the channel, and the bell icon next to it, so that in the future, the team can update more information about this crypto market that I want to send to you. Goodbye, and see you all in the next video.